Yo, what's up guys? Bringer of Light here again. This video, I'm just going to be explaining the easiest way to get kill points. I'm going to show my kill points. I don't have a lot for how old my account is, and this is because I started in Season of Conquest. I would say number one thing you'd want to do, start not in Season of Conquest, start in a new server, unless you already have an account. But if you can, start in a new server and work your way up from there. You're not going to get a ton of kill points in the beginning, but you'll start racking them up as you go. But just besides that, this is probably the easiest way to get kill points, but it is heavily frowned upon, and I personally don't do it or recommend it because it's not going to make you better at the game. But farm killing, and I'm using this as an example. This is Belisarius and Honda because of the pure march speed you get. I would also use tier 4 because it's slightly faster than tier 5 and it's cheaper if you get caught and murdered. So use a march that's really fast and get around. And I wouldn't do this. Don't go straight to the farmers. You want to go right here so that they don't get a warning. And then when you're here, you can hit them. Also, I like Siege. My last video I talked about Siege and how they're pretty good. If you were a little bit weaker, I would say that Siege is definitely pretty good if you want to get some kill points. I think the earliest you can get Siege is in Season 2, and those are only purple commanders, but when you get to Season 3, you get all the legendary commanders. But yeah, Siege pretty good as long as you have people who can stay in the front line. You can just sit behind them and just plow them, but you have to really be careful with your Siege because they're really squishy. And that brings me to something else, which is Counterattack. Some Siege has really good counterattacks, such as Cordoba. But if you're a low spender or you only have time to have one march, you don't have any good gear for the other marches, I would get a really high counterattack march. This is because you're gonna get surrounded when you're out in the open field or in balls, and you just don't have any other marches to support that. So counterattack damage is gonna make you do damage to all the other marches. As you can see, I have a very good counterattack march. He's not used very much anymore, but 20% more, you can get 20% more on top of the 20% that you already have. He does more damage when he is countered. Early game, Charles Martel is the best counterattack in my opinion. Charles Martel and YSG, very good commander pairing. And actually, Charles Martel is still used now, so if you're early game, I wouldn't say spinning gold heads on him is the best idea, but it's not terrible since they have, or ROK put in the commander swap event, so it wouldn't be absolutely tragic if you did that, especially since his value is still alright in Season of Conquest because of his relic. But yeah, insanely good counterattack damage. I'm not really sure who's better. Maybe Richard. I think Richard has some extra counterattack, and you can get him pretty early as well. Let's see. He takes less damage. Alright, yeah, there, 10% more, which isn't a whole lot, but if you're putting that on top of the 30% that Charles already has, that's really good, especially since you're going to be taking way less damage. But yeah, so that's that for counterattack, and the other way is rallies and Garrison. And I would say only use tier 4 for this. If you have tier 5, you could. I use tier 5 for it, but it's going to start costing a lot. Your deads are going to be way more important since they're tier 5. And, you can make more of tier 4, so you can just plop them in and just keep putting them in there. And you're not going to get absolutely tons and tons of kill points for this, but it's still pretty good. I mean, you'll get roughly like a mil per rally, or depending on how much you put. Like if you put an absolute ton with full crystal tech, you get a mil. I think I get anywhere from 500 to a mil per rally or garrison, and you can just keep filling those things with your troops. So I mean, yeah, that would be the best idea in my opinion. If you don't have any strong marches and you're really early game, you're scared of getting marked. But the last thing I'm going to talk about, and this is also pretty frowned upon. I wouldn't recommend doing it in my opinion, but if you're going to, don't get caught by your kingdom, especially if you're a higher seed. They're going to beat you up for this. But that is murdering your farm account. See, I have a farm account. I can make tons of tier 4, and I can, if I want, I can just put some tier 4 over here, put it in a really weak march, and just obliterate it. Never attack your other farm city, because you're just going to get deads. No point. But yeah, I would, and if you have access to this, and they don't care that you're farm killing your own self, then I would do this during an event that has kill points. But if you're in KVK or something, you're about to get exiled, and you absolutely just don't want to get zeroed or whatever, then I would say that it would be alright to do this. So that is the best way to get kill points in this game, in my opinion, unless you already have extremely good open field marches, because that's the best way. But other than that, this would be the easiest way, and farm killing. I mean, the best ways to get kill points in this game are pretty just frowned upon. So yeah, I would just recommend getting good at field, or get a good siege march, and then you'll start obliterating people. But if you're one of those guys, you could just farm kill other people or yourself. But yeah, that's gonna be the video. So thank you guys for watching.